What is up, everybody? Today I'm making a video that I normally don't make, and it's about NBA 2K. And if you don't know, NBA 2K is pretty much the only available basketball game simulation that's good that you can play right now. There's no NBA Live, there's nothing. There's really nothing other than like mobile sim games and stuff like that. There's not a lot to choose from. Let's start with that. So NBA 2K has officially became the most greedy, money-hungry game I have ever seen in my entire life. And I'm gonna get into it. And a lot of you people might not like this, but this is very important because this game has a mode that attracts children to gambling. And now you might say, well, Jake, there's a lot of games that make kids gamble on things. There is, but when I tell you the amounts of gambling and the value behind it, you'll tend to understand a little bit more. So, currently, the generation of game out now is NBA 2K24, which is not a cheap game, as a standard edition 70. Then they have other editions that are 100 and 150 that give you currency online and stuff like that for buying that $150 option. So I've been playing this game since 2K6, and in 2014, which is NBA 2K14, they created a game mode called My Team. My Team is virtual cards that you can actually use to play games and play other modes with those cards. So every single year previous to this year, they had a very fast pacing, and a gentleman by the name of Ty Debo has pretty much was like, oh, they need to slow down the pacing, and everything came out too fast, and good cards were too good early on. It made the game, not playable around Christmas time. That was a big wrong on him, and they listened to him. And so this year, the pacing has been a lot slower, where Galaxy Opals are relevant now and just starting out, where Dark Matters were relevant and just starting out to mid at this time of the year, which I actually prefer because I don't want to get the best team the minute the next game comes out. I'd rather be running with the best team for months before the game comes out, the next game, which this game does come out every single year. So I like to mention that as well. So in this year, they decided to remove an auction house, something that's been in the game for almost 10 years. And they're like, hey, look, cards are unobtainable. People are charging an arm and a leg for these cards. But at least you can get them, number one. And number two, the auction house, even though it had a 4-hour countdown, which was ridiculous, which could have been changed. That should have been instantaneous. It's instantaneously put on, but for a 4-hour countdown to sell your card is ridiculous. You should be able to sell it as fast as you want. They should be able to end it as fast as they want. So, and that's the problem, because you had a 4-hour slot, a 12-hour slot, and a 24-hour slot. So you only had 3 different slots. So that wasn't much variety. So people were complaining about this. So their reasoning and what they did was they're like, hey, we're going to create a player market and remove the auction house. That's a huge mistake. And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, that's great. We could just buy the cards out of the player market. Whoa, calm down. That's not exactly how it worked. And not only that, it changed because the game came out with a blog that said every card that was unobtainable before is now able to be obtained via player market, via VC and MT. So this was also the first year that you can buy My Team currency instead of virtual currency, which My Team currency is for My Team mode. And you would get My Team points by playing the mode, but you can never buy them until now. You would have to use virtual currency and buy stuff like packs in order to sell those cards for My Team points. That's how it worked, which never made sense because MLB, you can just buy the stuff straight up. There's no currency to change into another currency in order to translate. That's blasphemy. It's dumb. So they come out with the player market, and again, it should have been alongside the auction house, not instead of the auction house. That's a huge issue. Once they came out with that, there's this year they're like, oh, MT, you get so much easier and you obtain so much more. But I remember when they first started, a diamond card was 150, 200,000. my team points, which is insane because only the best of the best was that in the other game. So now they have the ability to price cards how they want to price them. And not only that, the card prices were double the virtual currency prices. So if you did get virtual currency and got a card and you changed it to MT, which not only that, there's a 60% tax on returning a card, where if you sold it in the auction house, there was a 10% tax. And that 10% tax was a lot to me at the time because I know it's 15 once, so it's 10. I was like, maybe they're gonna do 5, maybe they're gonna do 0. Now, if you get a card from a pack, and let's just say it's a duplicate, and you go to sell it, and that card's 100 in the store, you get 40 back. That's ridiculous. So realistically, you can't sell your card on the auction house. You're forced to sell it to the marketplace, and you get crap back. And if you buy a card to test out and you don't like it, you get a 60% tax, no matter what you do. So that's crazy in itself. Another thing is, let's talk about odds of cards and packs, because there's so many times where a tier comes out like Galaxy Opals and it says less than 2% chance to get the card. Less than 2% chance. What does that mean? You're not giving a percentage. And if you were giving a percentage, it would make more sense, because there's a gentleman named Troydan who was trying to open up packs for a 100 overall card, which is the new thing, by the way, 100 overall card. And he spent about $3,000 to $4,000 to get one virtual pixel card that's probably going to be irrelevant in a few months, and didn't get the card. That's gambling. There's no guarantee that you get the card, and it's not even accurate to the percentage that is labeled. That's gambling. So as a 30-year-old man who's playing this game this mode since 2014, I probably spent about $5,000 on this game. If a 30-year-old man is addicted to this game and spending money on this game, what do you think it's like for a child? And I tell myself, I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. Why am I doing this? When I had a daughter, I was like, I would never ever spend money on this game. I swore that I wouldn't, and I still did, and I still do. And I got to a point though where enough is enough, and I'll explain why enough is enough, and it goes back to that card. Is they promise that cards will be able to be obtainable in the player market. And some of the most popular cards this year weren't. You'd have to lock in an entire set for $50, $75, $100 plus in order to get that one card, which then deems all the other cards unsellable because you lock it in. And that's going to be another topic shortly, which is unsellable cards. That's huge. But not only do you can't sell to the market, you can't sell it at all. So let's just use an example. Diamond LeBron. You had to lock in like 5, 6, 7 different sets in order to get a Diamond LeBron. That, let me tell you now, is irrelevant because there's a Galaxy Opal LeBron. But you had to spend about $150 to lock in all 7 of those sets to get LeBron. Guess what happens to all 7 of those sets? They're unsellable. So now it's gotten to a point where it's even worse. So All-Star Break, usually we get great content and chances at free stuff, and every single year was almost amazing. This year, they gave Galaxy Opals for the first time in this year, Galaxy Opals, to the starters, and they were only obtainable by locking in the East and West set of pink diamonds, which was $300K each, so that's $150 for a chance at one of the starter Galaxy Opals. Other than that, which you get one random one, which could be anyone you don't want, which is gambling, you would have to open packs, which is a less than 2% chance to get those opals. Gambling. Now, there's so much feedback from the community and criticism, and they blatantly ignore it. This is literally child gambling. It's the worst thing I've ever seen, because you're begging your parents to buy cards in a game that are virtual. This dude spent $4,000 on cards when you could have bought 50 autographed cards for that price and actually have something where at least like when people gamble, well, here's the thing. You gamble and you win and you still don't have anything to show for it. It's not like, hey, I spent $4,000 and I got a LeBron card that I can now sell and make money off it. You can't. You can't sell that card to a person or anything. It's not real. It's not actuality. It's not something you can physically hold. It's virtual. It's not even like a NTF. It's not that either. So this is a huge problem. And one of my biggest things that I despise about myself in this game is that I have a team that I spent no money on, and that team is just as good or better than my paid team, yet I spent maybe $500-600 on that paid team. And I asked myself, why? Why am I doing this? This is money that could have went to my daughter. This is money that could go to my house. Why am I spending money on a game? And the worst part is next year, it's the same thing. And all the stuff that you accomplished this year doesn't translate to crap in the next year. So why? I can go back and play 2K23 where I have all the best cards, because at the end of the year, you get all the best cards, like a 99 everything card, a perfect card you can get for 10,000 MT right now in 2K23. That same card is $4,000 in 2K24 if you wanted it. So why? It just doesn't make sense, and I can't even explain it. So let's go talk. I have a list here. So we talked about the player market, how so many of these cards are unobtainable. Let's talk about what they came out today. So they had 2 Fridays in a row of these Galaxy Opals, only available in packs. You cannot get this card from the player market. Yet in their blog, they said that you can get all the most unobtainable players before that were unaffordable and not making this game enjoyable, you can now get in the player market. That was 100% of a lie. They literally are lying, right? Now they're like, oh, rush set for Tuesday. Friday is their bigger drop. Tuesday is their smaller drop. Rush set, Galaxy Opal, Austin Reeves, Pink Diamond, Jerry Stackhouse, and Triple J, and all this other stuff. 100% free. Everybody's like, oh yeah, 2K's doing something good. They're giving us free stuff. No. The stuff that you have to do with these cards to obtain them for free is ridiculous. One of them says, in order to get Jaren Jackson Jr., you have to play 30 online, full-length, 45-minute games in order, and get 3 blocks per game in order to get this 1 Pink Diamond. And keep in mind, you have to get a list of 5 cards in order to get the Galaxy Opal card, in which that's insane to get too. So you want me to play this game for 100 hours, not 100, let's say 30 hours. No, it's like 40 hours. You want me to play 40 hours to obtain a Galaxy Opal that barely would make my team and is irrelevant in probably a month from now. It's not going to happen. That's not free. That's slave labor. I'm not going to do that. So let's talk about unsellable. They sometimes reward you with packs. Oh, a deluxe pack. Oh, look, I got a Pink Diamond John Morant that doesn't make my team. Let me sell him. Oh, wait, you can't. They make all these cards that you can potentially get unsellable. Not only can you not get the 60% tax back and not get crap for it, you get nothing. That card just sits there and does nothing. What's the point? Let's talk about card collector levels. You used to collect cards in order to get rewards. Now it's like, hey, collect every single card to get a Dark Matter Kobe Bryant. So now you have to spend $20,000 to collect a dead guy at the end of the year. And not only that, all the rewards leading up to it are so behind what's available when you spend money. So now if you collect 1,600 cards, you get a Galaxy Opal card that wouldn't even make my team right now, and I'm at like 600 cards. Why would I collect a bunch of cards? And not only like before when I did collect cards, at least you can sell them back after you get the reward. Now you can't. So why the hell would I collect cards? For what? It's stupid. Let's talk about the token market. The token market has completely been destroyed. Last year, I was sitting on like 15,000 tokens, and I was so pissed because I'm like, I locked in all these sets for all these tokens. I have nothing to do with it. Now, tokens are almost unobtainable. You can't even get 40 tokens in a season. And not only that, they don't even carry over. So if you don't spend them, they disappear. Good job, 2K. Good job. So now it's like, at least at the end of the year when I had 15,000 tokens or whatever I had, at least I could buy invincible packs or whatever they were called And yes, they were expensive. They were like 1,500 tokens, but at least I had something to spend it on. Now I'm gonna go into the last season with no tokens, with a chance to obtain 40 for what? For what? So I have never, like, this game is abysmal. Not only is it bad, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the graphics are the best graphics they've ever been. So keep that in mind. The game itself is garbage. The tendency to get people addicted and the gambling aspect and the money hungry, like, my career, I love my career, I love playing my career, but now I think it's been like 6 or 7 years, they continuously make your player worse and you have to spend a bunch of money to make them better. And even then, like, I don't play my career online, so why can't my career player be perfect? Like you could in 2K15 and 2K16, you could be perfect, right? Have a different thing for offline and online people. I get it, you don't want to be overpowered, so people play online and they're best player. But if I'm just playing in the NBA, why can't my guy be perfect? I want to make my player like LeBron. I don't want a guy who can't get Hall of Fame range because he can't have a 99.3, because if he has a 99.3, he can't do anything else. That's NBA 2K's my career builder. You can be good at one thing. That's it. And you can be average at everything else. That's not realistic. That's not what I want to put myself in the game to. I don't want to be myself in the game. I want to be the best I can be in the game. So that's an issue among itself. The whole game is riddled by issues. So let's keep going here. 0 points in the player market, lock cards ban lock-ins, insane card prices. Yes, I talked about that. Like, they want 240K right now for good pink diamonds, 200,000 MT. That's crazy. 200K MT could buy you a perfect team in the previous generation. So the insane prices are crazy. And it's funny because they want you to buy MT and get MT, but MT can't buy you the best cards. Only virtual currency can, and that's by buying packs and gambling and having a chance to get the best cards. So that's crazy. And like I said, controlling the market, they didn't want other people controlling it. So now it's like, hey, here's the deal. If there's Tyreek Maxey, who's a point guard, and he's 6'2" and LeBron's 6'9", and they're both 95 overall, why is Tyreek Maxey 60K and LeBron's 250K? I get it, more people want to play LeBron. I get it, LeBron's probably going to be better. But you're fixating and fixing the price because you know that people want LeBron and want to play with LeBron. That's messed up. You're controlling the market. Imagine if they just did that with stocks. Like, it's crazy. Junior. Zero incentive to play. I mean, the modes, like, if you want to play offline, there's not much to do. You have these triple threat modes. The rewards are laughable. I love to play domination. What do we have? 3 dominations in 5 seasons? That's ridiculous. I want to be rewarded for playing. The last domination we got a pink diamond Damian Lillard, which wasn't even able to make my team when I got him. But at least playing the mode, you got like 200-300 KMT. Like, there's every single season there should be a new domination. Every single season, yes, they come out with new rewards, but they're not good. Just like Ty Debo said about how Moses Malone, for playing the game for 400 hours, is not as good as the David Robinson that you can pull out of packs and gamble on to get. It's so bad. Another thing is, with seasons now, they have a pass, so you can get more rewards that you have to pay $20 a month for. And now you can buy level skips. So not only do you buy a season pass every single season, and there's 9 seasons or 8 seasons, you now are charged $20 a month if you want extra rewards. Again, very, very, very greedy. Now they have a strict ban about banning people that quit games. So it's like, hey, my electricity goes off. You're going to get banned. My internet went out. You're going to get banned. You're losing by 40 and you don't want to stay in the game. You quit. You're going to get banned. Anything you do that leave the game gets you in trouble. Why can't you forfeit the game? If you don't want to play the game because you're losing, why do you have to play? That other person still gets the win. They don't care that you quit. Anybody who plays online games prefers that you quit because they don't want to sit there and play for 45 minutes with somebody that doesn't want to play. Or they're killing. If you're up by 20 points, why should you have to play? If they're up by 20 points, why should they have to play? It's so ridiculous. And there's people who, like me, let me explain last year, and I don't know if I made a video about this, but I got banned for 30 days towards the end of the season because they accused me of purchasing currency from a Chinese website, which was a lie, which was false. And I tried to appeal it. And when I went to appeal it, they said, this is our final decision, this, and that. They're literally telling me I'm a liar, and I wasn't lying. And I swore that I didn't buy any currency. Did I do it in previous years? Yes, but not in that year. So you can't penalize me on this game for something that was done years ago. That's not how it works. One of the thing is, like, we add new features and instead it's just bringing something back that they've removed years ago, or it's something that's not even a feature, like removing the auction house. They're selling the game. They're like, no more auction house. Like it's some type of new feature. Like, it's so important. There's this, like, that's pretty much my list. I don't want to go into it too much. I'm already 20 minutes invested into this, and you can see the community of NBA 2K. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody's not happy, and they're blatantly ignoring their fan base. And they realize, like, hey, there's nothing else you guys can play. You're gonna play our game no matter what, and we're gonna continue charging for it. Now, was there free content that they gave throughout the year that is usable? Yeah. But if you want to compete at any level, you need these cards that are unobtainable unless you gamble thousands of regular dollars. The it's so bad. It's so bad. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I hope they get sued. I hope Anonymous takes them out. Like, I'm a huge fan of NBA 2K as a basketball player, but the gambling aspect behind it, I can't stand behind. And obviously, by contributing to it, it sounds like I support it, but I haven't contributed to it recently because I can't stand behind it, and I don't want to stand behind it, and I really need to humble myself. And I took a picture of my free team and my paid team and saw the difference, and then I played a game with both and I saw the stats. It's almost the same exact thing. It's like, hey, this is the gambling addiction aspect is like, oh my God, Galaxy Opal LeBron, I need him. Galaxy Opal Anthony Davis or Giannis Antetokounmpo or whoever, I need this, and you don't. You really don't, and that's what I need to tell myself, so I don't waste any more money on this game because it's an awful addiction. I'm a 30-year-old man, and I'm making these mistakes. Imagine a kid taking their parents' credit card, asking for money, demanding money, blah blah this. If my kid was playing this game, I would never let. First of all, I don't know if I want my kid playing this game, but if they did, I would say to them straight up, like, I'm not giving you any money for this game, because as somebody who struggled with this before, it did not bring happiness to me. I didn't feel good about it. At the end of the year, I was just like looking at how much money I wasted and realized that it's irrelevant and it doesn't go to the next game. It's a complete waste. And if you're good at the game, if you're really good at the game, you can compete with players that you can obtain without gambling to the gambling players if you're really good at the game. But if you're not, then you have no chance online. So hope you guys enjoy this video. It was very, it's very frustrating, and I continue to play the game to the day, but I really wish that I could just stop. I wish. And it's like the only video game I play. Like, seriously. Seriously. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a blessed day.